Hi there, it's Ernest from Trip Astute. In this video, we're answering a common travel question: do I need a better camera while traveling? Capturing photos and videos is one of the most essential activities during a vacation. Until recently, most people would carry a dedicated camera when traveling. In fact, I remember carrying a large and heavy SLR in the late 90s when I traveled to Italy. It took incredible photos, but it was a bit of a pain carrying everywhere, especially while backpacking. Since we now carry smartphones everywhere, a common question that I often get is whether it's worth carrying another camera when traveling. The answer is obviously subjective, but I wanted to share our thoughts and provide some insights on the strengths and weaknesses of smartphone cameras. Keep in mind that I'm not a professional or expert photographer, and most of my experience is capturing video for this channel. So, let's start with the pros of using your smartphone. Number one, always accessible. There's an old saying in photography that the best camera is the one that you have with you. We're all accustomed to carrying and using our smartphones, so using it on vacation seems like a convenient and natural thing to do. Number two, high resolution video and advanced features. The latest smartphone cameras are capable of 4K video at 60 frames per second, which blows away my dedicated camera, the Canon G7X Mark II. And the portrait mode photos on my iPhone X are arguably better than the ones I'm able to capture on this camera. Number three, GPS logging and sharing options. While a lot of dedicated cameras have the ability to log your GPS location either natively or by using your phone and transferring via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, the process is just so much easier on your smartphone. I can even share photos and videos to social media immediately, while it's much more of a process with my dedicated camera. Number four, less to carry. Having less items to worry about when traveling is really convenient, and it usually means one less charger to carry as well. Number five, water resistance. I love that most newer phones are water resistant. This makes it perfect for traveling, especially when you might encounter rough weather conditions. So, using your smartphone seems great, right? Well, there are a few cons, so let's run through the list. Number one, limited low light performance. The biggest drawback and limitation that you'll find when using your smartphone is the performance in low light conditions. This is primarily due to the size of the sensor. For example, my Canon G7X has a 1-inch sensor which allows it to capture a lot of light, especially in low light situations. Most smartphones, on the other hand, have a 1/3 to 1/2 inch sensor, so you'll notice that it struggles in low light conditions, and the image and video tends to be a little more grainy. This is usually not a problem in normal daytime lighting, but more of an issue in the dark or indoors. Number two, limited optical stabilization. Most newer phones have great optical stabilization, but I still think that my dedicated camera has better stabilization. Also, the amount of stabilization can be adjusted on my dedicated camera. Number three, concerns over damaging or losing your phone. Having a dedicated camera can be convenient, especially for situations like action sports. For example, we use a GoPro when filming in aquatic environments and situations where there's a high risk of potential damage. Breaking or losing your GoPro will be less costly than damaging your phone, which is a critical tool in our daily lives. Number four, limited storage space. We all have had the experience of running out of storage space on our phone. This can be super annoying when traveling. Of course, it can happen to your dedicated camera too, but you generally have more options when it comes to memory cards. Number five, lower megapixels. This is more of an issue if you plan to do professional work or create a large print of your image. My Canon G7X, for example, is capable of 20 megapixels, while my iPhone X has 12 megapixels. For most people, this shouldn't be an issue, but it's something to be aware of. There are other technical limitations, like not being able to save in RAW format, adjust aperture and shutter speed settings, and in the case of DSLRs, being able to swap lenses. But honestly, those are not likely to be issues for the casual photographer or traveler, which is why I'm not including them in the list. Plus, there are some workarounds for these issues on the smartphone, like using a more featured camera app. So, my personal opinion is that for most people, a good smartphone camera is really all you need. While you might not get the best low light performance, the convenience and daytime performance generally outweigh the cons. Unless you're an enthusiast or professional who wants more options, controls, and quality, I honestly recommend using your smartphone as your primary camera while traveling. In addition, here are some tips when using your smartphone on your trip. Number 1, clean up your photos and videos. I recommend getting into the habit of reviewing your photos and videos every night and deleting ones that you don't intend to keep. While digital photography allows you to capture as many images as you want, it can easily lead to digital clutter. So take the time to delete bad photos. You'll not only be happy later when sharing your photos, but you'll have more space on your phone. Number 2, use Google Photos. There are a ton of different photo management apps out there. I personally use and recommend Google Photos. I like that my photos get offloaded from my phone and stored in Google's cloud. Google also has some pretty incredible intelligence around their photo recognition. For example, I can type hiking and Google will find photos that will meet the search criteria. I can even use Google Photos with my iPhone. While I like Apple Photos, I've had problems with my photos and videos not syncing across all my devices. Also, I pay a little extra to have Google Photos retain the original file type and resolution, and even have it store a local copy on my personal server. I know a lot of people dislike the idea of Google having access to your photo data, but I personally find the intelligence offered by their service to outweigh my privacy concerns. Number 3, carry a spare battery pack. Using your smartphone camera for photos, and especially videos, will drain your battery. I recommend carrying a spare battery. I'm a huge fan of Anker's spare batteries and chargers. In fact, I carry their PowerCore Mini Plus battery charger in my bag at all times, and it comes in handy both on trips and my daily life. Number 4, consider using a gimbal. If you really want to upgrade the quality of your smartphone videos, you might want to consider using a gimbal. There are a few on the market like the DJI Osmo Mobile and the Zhiyun Smooth. Just make sure to do your research before buying. For some reason, the optical stabilization on some of the newer phones can interfere with the gimbal, causing jittery video. A lot of video nerds like me are waiting for DJI to release their second generation of the Osmo Mobile gimbal, which will hopefully resolve this issue. Do you carry a separate camera when traveling, or do you prefer to use your smartphone? Please share your experience in the comment section below. Also, if you have any questions, please let us know. We've included Amazon links to some of the products mentioned in this video. TripAstute does get a percentage if you use our link. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps us to continue building content for this channel. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Also, sign up for our newsletter on our website for travel tips, news, and giveaways. Until next time, travel safe, travel smart.